Welcome back, everyone. We're back with the fellow groups of Naivara, Zadim, and Ixius in the wonderful land of Ait'seh. I am your host, the Uncommon DM, the Uncommon Guru, and we'll jump right in. Our adventurers had been out and about, looking through the spiraling peaks, looking for a flower called the Gold Drop Flower. After a few adventurous encounters with creatures such as an Ankh-egg and a manticore, they had finally found the flower they were looking for, made their way back, and got paid. Now, 50 gold in their pockets. They've got a city of silver crossings to look through, and adventure before them. As you guys have been paid each the 50 gold, the gold drop flower was delivered, and the herbalist who was given it give a very thankful bow as they quickly scurried off to go brew the potion to bring back Ixius' father's health. What would you guys like to do? Also, for anyone wondering, Zadim uh, is currently going to be a little bit quiet. He's got a few other stuff going on, but he will pop back in as soon as he is able.
I'm just following Ixius. Why is Mr. Noodles on the map?
I did not mean to do that.
I'm just following Ixius back to
Yes.
our little quest marker. Let's call it that.
Okay. Yes, Zadim will be in the chat though. So Ixius, you said you wanted to bring her to the wizards of the city.
Yeah, I'm gonna get our sanctions.
Okay.
It's actually Twitch.
All right. You would know
I
where,
don't tell her. I don't tell her.
of course. So
Lovely.
okay. So you know where the wizards tend to congregate. There's actually a library that they run. It's less of a guild and more of just a place where people come bring in various things that they want inspected, looked over, particularly ancient texts. Spells are less of something that they carry in Silver Crossings. They're more interested in the ancient relics of the past, trying to bring about new things. The council there is quite nice, primarily filled with some of the older folk who've come to use their long sought knowledge to educate those who come through this way. Entering the place it smells of books and ink. Scrolls, documents, manuals all line various shelves. At the counter is an old gnome with a very bushy white beard that just kind of seems to hang past his knees, and a little green cap that he's just kind of nestled halfway askew on his head as he scribbles something, slaps a stamp on it, looks it over, scribbles something else, slaps another stamp on it, looks up at you guys, uh, messes with these tiny little bifocals, so he looks at you. Yes, come in, come in. How can I be of assistance today?
I just need to speak with the head wizard.
Oh, you need to speak with Tehran. Of course, of course. Hold on a second. He pulls out a piece of paper, looks over. Oh, no, that's not right. That's not. Oh, here we go. Pulls out a tiny little slip of paper, pulls out a stamp. Here you go. He's up the stairs, down the hall. Watch out for the moving ones. They will get people so confused. Just head down the hall though. Third door on the left.
Yep. I know. I assume I already knew that.
Yes, he's just giving directions just because he has a terrible memory of who comes through here.
Yeah. So I'll lead Navara. I
Does
suggest.
do his eyes have like swirls to them? Like the classic.
One of them does.
Aw.
He's got like that,
The other one has a heart shape in it.
something like that. He's just kind of like that one crazy eye and the one that's just like, I love reading books. Yay!
Yeah, I'll lead Navara up there. I suggest you be completely honest with him. He'll probably already know you're not a druid anyway.
I have no reason to lie. I just need these people to see reason.
Oh, you're lucky I brought you here and not the clerics. So continue on.
He just sees Zimara just kind of shudder like.
right. Uh, Moving up the stairs is fairly easy. You actually have to pause for a moment as the halls do actually have a little shifting mechanism to them where they'll just like slide around, slide around. It's primarily because various people have different rooms that they want to get to at the end of the hall, but also to help keep outsiders from really being able to just walk into wherever they want. Once it stops and you're able to keep going forward, you find the door.
What was his name again?
Tehran. I'll spell that for you.
I almost had I need another R.
Yeah, just two, it's two R's, not one. Spelled almost phonetically.
I'm just going. Is it? Do I not? Do I know if I need to knock or just walk in?
It's slightly askew, but it's preferred you knock. It's
Yeah, I'll knock. I just do 3 taps.
yes, come in. Before you even move towards the door, the handle just kind of all of a sudden just jerk backwards, like no, no, I got it, I got it. Come in, come in. Mage hand is holding the door, just pulls back, opens up, waves.
I'll walk in.
The man inside he's kind of this old, feeble-looking dude, just hands kind of like arched down, almost Tyrannosaurus Rex style. His beard is much cleaner cut, almost like a close shave. Either that, or he never really had a good chance at growing beards. He's a small human. He has his head completely either shaved or he's just lost all of his hair, with thick, thick brown and gray robes that just kind of look like they're hanging off of his frame as he kind of like leans back, looks over, just like, hello.
I say greetings, Wizard Tehran.
Hello, Ixius. Are you here for another bout of studying?
No, I got something different, and I'll motion Navarro to come forward.
A woman? I didn't know you were in love.
No, she was presented to the Duke as a druid, but it turns out she's something else.
He
She's
kind of
hiding her identity because I'm pretty sure you don't know why.
kind of taps his chin slowly. Have a seat, have a seat, come, come, come. Kind of pushes himself like this, shaking arms as he moves over. He tries to pull out the chairs like, hold on, I got this. Old age has not done wonders for me, but please, have a seat, have a seat.
I'll sit.
Slowly he sits down, looks over. And you, milady? Please, have a seat, have a seat.
She's going to very hesitantly sit in a chair that's probably as far away from them as she can physically get.
The only other chair is right in front of the desk, right next to Ixius.
Okay.
He's an old man. He's used to the people being shy. So he kind of shifts in his chair. Just he looks like kind of happy, like squeak, 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 squeak. So, something other than what you seem to be. Kind of rubs his chin slowly, like he's trying to stroke a beard that's just not there. Kind of leans to the side as basically does a stage whisper to Ixius. I think that you're trying to say that she made what's it called, a pact? Yeah, that thing with one of the ancients.
I don't know which one though. She hasn't told me.
Oh, that's fine. We don't need to know. So, milady, welcome to our establishment. So you are seeking what? Kind of throws out his hand, just like, I have no idea why you're here, but you're here. Welcome.
She's been living in the wild. I'm trying to get her sanction to stay in the city.
Kind of taps the side of his nose. Then he looks back at you. Is that safe? Has she proven herself to be a?
She's capable.
Oh, okay. He kind of motions. He's like, so you wish to be sanctioned to remain in this area to, what would be the right word for it? Coexist with everyone here.
Yes, I just want to make sure that someone doesn't take me away and try and. I don't even know what they do to my kind here.
It's a crude form of the word, but they call it, I believe, the cleansing. Kind of waves his hand dismissively. They're fools and vagabonds for snuffing out such talent. Excuse me, I've been eating some of my crisps recently. He pulls out some potatoes. They're like full on sliced potatoes. Just, they're delicious. Would you like some? They're good.
No thanks.
Oh.
Just gonna hesitantly take them.
Ah, good. He kind of claps his hands. Yay! Someone likes my crisps. I made them myself.
How do they taste when she eats them? Like, are these good, or is this something that she's gonna have to hide?
You you eat them. They're like sliced potatoes with a little bit of salt just kind of sprinkled on them. They're not like
They're too.
deep
I
fried.
don't take them because they're too bland for me.
Yeah, they're not like super tasty. The salt's just to give it a little bit of flavor, a little texture. Otherwise, it's like eating just a potato. A salted potato. Yes, they're good. And he kind of just dusts himself off. He's just like, one second here. Boris? Where are you? Hold on. Kind of smacks his table. It's like he tries to slam his hand on the table and just like this little. Boris! Oh, come here, you mangy kid! On the, behind you, you hear just like, as this very old gray cat just like slowly just holds up its paws on the side of it, like trying to get up, just like, I'm too lazy. And then just kind of just flops over.
The moment the cat like comes, Mr. Mills just hisses at it, like they are enemies.
It like slowly glances, like it doesn't glance at you. It like full on does its like a back arch so that it's staring at you and just goes like just it doesn't care. Just like yeah, there. I gotcha.
Vara's gonna pat her lap to see if it hops up there.
It does like it kind of looks at you, kind of turns around, crouches down, does a little buck wiggle, throws its arms up and just kind of slaps its paws against your knees, just like eh.
Okay, well then she's going to pick it up and put her in her lap because it clearly can't do it.
Oh, Boris! Oh, it seems that you have him now. That's perfectly fine. He's a very good read of character when he wants to be, and is not hiding from me like a pain in my butt. So, you wish to get sanctioned? He kind of pulls out a couple papers. Let me see here. My eyesight's actually been very good since I've been getting older. Surprisingly, I can still make out all the words. He starts speaking in what appears to be babble. He's just babbling, just sentences and babble. Yeah, even Ixius kind of looking at him just like, that's normal for him, but yep,
I'm just
I have a
nodding.
character question.
yes.
Wouldn't restoration help him with his eyesight?
No, it would not. It removes a condition like paralysis, poison, so that would not
It can
affect
cure
him.
blindness.
Blindness, yes, but not natural blindness.
Okay, so if it's something that just occurs with age, you can't do it. If it's like an injury.
Technically, no. It's like if a magical effect blinds you, lesser restoration cures that.
Okay, I got
And I have that.
you.
Yeah, and he's not blind. He's just right now. He's just kind of babbling and making noises before he's like, okay, I think I cleared my throat enough. All right, so let's see. And he starts
Clear his throat.
He starts reading it off in this kind of this haunting staccato language that neither of you speak before nodding to himself. Yes, of course. The bylaws and blah, 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 and that, and yeah, that makes sense. Kind of sits down, turns it towards you. The paper, as you're kind of looking it over, it's written in a tongue you don't know, but in the bottom of it, it basically has a very short, I promise I will not invoke property damage without first being assailed. I promise that I will not cause harm to any who do not attempt harm upon myself. Basic, I'm not going to use my magic against people without being prompted to by an attacking force.
Oh, okay.
I just
Basic human manners.
yeah, basic human manners, yes. He's just like, sign there, and you should be all set. And hold on, I got a pretty little wristband. Kind of sets it down. It's this silver twisted metal that's in the shape of a bracelet, with the heads of two dragons facing each other. One half of it is in this kind of this crystalline silver. The other half of it is this clearly purposefully blackened one that points towards the other one, almost like an Ouroboros fashion. Only instead of dragon biting its tail. It's two dragons at each other's face.
This isn't some kind of tracker, is it?
He kind of stares. He's just like, what? Oh, yeah, yes, yes. It's so that if you are in need of assistance and we need to locate you, I can locate the object. While you're in the city, of course. Once you're out of the city, he kind of throws up his hand, just like, I don't care.
Okay. She's going to put it on and sign her name.
Okay, you put it on. It's not the most comfortable fit. It's a little bit loose, but are you able to sign your name without any issues? He takes it and he points to it, just like, if anyone asks, you are with the Twin Dragons Guild. We are the wizards of the Silver Crossings, and we will vouch for you as a member who has been invited in. Not saying that you are a member, but you are someone who is allowed to roam our halls.
Alright. That makes a modicum of sense. At least, all I care about is not being touched or approached by clerics.
As long as you're not hurt, they shouldn't try anything. Most clerics are. Well, they usually tend to avoid confrontation without provocation, much like in the amendum that I just gave you. They're,
I don't know why. I don't know why the confrontation without provocation made me laugh. I'm so easily abused. I'm sorry.
you're fine. He kind of leans back, looks to Ixius. Anything else that I should be aware of before you two lovely people head out?
Uh, no, no wizard to run. However,
Mm.
are any of the druids around?
Passing through Silver Crossing, their migration paths are still moving. Last I checked, they were moving on their way towards Halo, to the northwest. They have already seen the passing through Gorleen with the Ancient Walker, the moving city that is currently moving north for the oncoming spring. They should still be on their way there, but more than likely, they have already made their passing to the city.
Well, in that case, if you do see one, I'm going to present him the seed of the sundrop flower.
Uh,
Can you give this to one of them?
he holds out a shaking hand. He's just like, hand it to me. I will make sure that it is preserved safely.
And I'll hand it to him.
He takes it very shakily, just puts it into a little bit of sand and not sand, dirt, and he kind of covers it up, just like, there you go, little fella. I'll give this to the druids as soon as they come through, or if just any druid comes through. You know, druid things. Sets it down.
Yeah, if we could grow those here, it'd be a lot more useful to us.
Yes, it has many good properties. I do actually. Oh, kind of thinks for a moment. I do actually know of one druid who is still staying in Silver Crossings. It's I don't know about their skills with plant weaving. She's just a little thing, but she's full of spunk and zeal. Only I wouldn't really call it an issue. It's just that she's constantly finding herself back in the taverns run by. Let me pull this up here so I make sure I get his name right. Should be. Where is your name, boy? My son. There you are. The inn called the Penitent Soul, run by Father Vrald. She tends to poke her head in more than a little bit. She runs a wonderful herbology shop, though.
Vrawl?
Vrald. Need me to spell that for you?
Yes. Let's see if I got it right. Hey, I got it right.
Yeah, that one is pronounced phonetically.
Is this Father Vrawl a cleric or a paladin?
Technically speaking, he is a cleric, but he is more concerned about the welfare of the poor, the people who need to pass through, as well as travelers. He is an advocator for such people. Good man, very good. A little bit on the nose at times, since
anyone who has patronage in his place is under his protection, and he takes his job quite seriously. But he is a good man. You can trust him. He follows the dual dragons as well as I do. Younger, much younger, but he is a good man.
And what was the druid's name?
Her name is her name is Emily.
Okay.
If you want to find her herbology shop, if she's still there, I don't know if she's gone to the Penitent Soul yet. Her shop is called the Blue Bear's House.
Like blueberry?
Possibly, she grows many plants there as well. I sh-
Maybe she'll understand. I recently came across these weird herbs that I know make something useful, but I can't find the third thing that I need.
Maybe if you're trying to create like a balm or something, she has been known to grow a few of the various locale plants and such. She may have what you need.
Would you like to go there, Navarro?
That would be nice. I only need one more thing, but I know it's not locally grown.
Hmm. Well, she may be able to help.
Kind of just shrugged, like,
I don't know what you're trying to make. So, I mean, if she's able to help, she's able to help.
Out of character, would I know what I'm trying to make and just know that I don't have an ingredient?
It's a bomb. It's basically a bomb that does 1d4 plus your plus the modifier of the person who made it.
Okay, so essentially, I'm trying to make a bomb that heals.
You definitely wanted to go to a herbology shop. They have access to many more plants than someone like a wizard would have. We have more things of the scholarly nature, calligraphy tools and the like.
I mean, I'm heading there. I don't know what you're doing, Ait'seh.
I'm probably just, if you're going to head there, I'll probably head there and show her the seed and see if she can do anything with it.
Certainly.
Kind of hands you the jar back.
This cat needs to move as much as I don't want it to.
Oh,
Snaps his fingers and shoop, disappears.
What? What? Wait, hang on. What?
what? Oh, hold on. I'll bring the cat back.
Snaps onto his table.
I'll do it too. I'll snap.
Out from the Aether just pops Mr. Noodle onto your shoulder, just like flap, flap, flap. Cuddles into your shoulders.
So it's a familiar.
Oh yes, Boris is a very good familiar of mine. I'm very familiar with what he can do.
Gives a little scritch on the back. Just kind of lays down, just like head just on the table, just paws at the hand, just eh.
Oh, you know you like it, you big fuzzball.
If it's a familiar, why is he so? I thought he was just old.
He is old. He's been with me for 70 years?
How old are you?
Oh, I am running on 173.
What race is this guy?
He looks human. He says he's human.
How are you alive so long? That's not normal.
Do a nature check.
He taps the side of
Auto?
he taps the side of his neck, just like
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I'm just, I'm eating my vegetables and my greens and the other things that make me so I have some vitality left.
Can I roll an Arcana check on this guy?
sure. 24. He appears to be human, but from what he's talking about, it sounds like been he found a way to extend his life in some way. You've heard of a few very, very rare herbs that would allow one to extend their life this long. The fact that he has it either indicates he's very powerful and has access to very powerful things, or that he is very, very lucky.
I'm willing to bet on the first thing, but I'm not going to question any further because I know I'm not going to get any information information.
No.
I won't head
Well,
out, and then I'll walk out.
thank you for your help. I do appreciate this.
No.
Okay, Boris.
Hmm.
You want to scratch the cat's stomach?
Just kind of bats at your hand, just like, no, you cannot leave. And then you pull away. It's like, eh.
That's like my actual in real life cat.
Just like, oh, you're leaving. No, no, fine, you're gone.
Okay, fine.
So while this is all going on, Zadim, what is it that you would like to be doing?
Fucking lurking behind the door like a creeper. Glad.
Just peeks around the door. Is it time to come in yet? So I'm very glad that I picked him. It was a good choice for my top wizard. So you're just sitting there in the hallways, Zadim, just like, oh, you guys done? Just like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't catch what happened there.
He's waiting the whole
Did a gnome just let him come up?
Yeah, he was with you guys, and so he was just kind of sitting there, just like,
I would assume I would assume he was just with us, but he
Oh
was
yeah,
just
he just didn't come in.
pretty much, yeah.
like,
Okay. In this area, there's not many places that Ixius would be able to point you to because he doesn't know where any hunters guilds are in the city. People have been kind of shying away from your griffin, who has just essentially been walking around like a very happy dog. It's
fucking Griffin walking down the street.
there it was, just walking down the street, going.
They're used to stuff like that with me around.
They're used to crazy stuff. They're not used to a medium-sized, basically 3 or so foot tall griffin with it fluttering its wings around, just kind of looking at people, just like.
With the curiosity of a dog.
Yes, trying to shove its nose into things, and you were able to allow it into the library. They did kind of the gnome did kind of give you a look, just like maybe nah, I'll let it. Yep. Luckily, Bright Eye is being good currently. She's just kind of chilling, batting around.
Currently.
Currently, yes.
Does he have control over her now?
He does have he does her, and he does have control over her now. He has access to her character sheet and everything. And I did decide after looking over the damage charts for losing the multi attack that it is a fledgling griffin, so it still has a little bit of time before it's an adult, but it is still quite a big griffin for being young.
This thing is going to be huge when it grows up. That's horrifying.
It's going to be a large creature, yes.
Scary. Spooky scary. Do not appreciate. Do not like. Do not want.
But it's your friend.
It could quickly become my non-friend.
We'll see.
See, Navarro, was that so bad?
I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it could be, but I mean,
If I brought you to the clerics, it'd been like 10 times worse.
I also don't trust you to not turn around and stab me in the back.
What? Because I can heal?
No, it's more because I don't know you.
I don't have a good standing with the clerics, so don't worry about that.
Oh, that actually is a lot more comforting than it should be.
I think they're pompous fools.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm more trusting. I still don't trust you to not cast once again. What is out of character? Prestidigitation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I don't trust you to not cast that on Hakeman.
you know you can learn this yourself, right? That was why I haven't like sprinkled some water on her.
Just suddenly, water.
It's not much. It's just a little like mist.
I have a mist too, but it poisons.
You know, like from a spray bottle.
You just sprayed her like a cat.
Great, I've been reduced to pussy. Lovely. I just heard the demon give up on me.
Oh, I haven't given up on you, but I'm certainly disapproving. Shame. Shame on you. That was terrible. Make it again.
Well, you know you love me. Love me and my bad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You're the tutor of the bad jokes.
I am the tutor of the bad jokes. This is true. I encourage and endorse such things as one does.
So, are we going to the herb shop?
Yeah. I mean, maybe she'll have it. He said locally grown, which is what makes me worry.
Chances are she knows the bomb you're making. She needs the items as well.
Well, it's not that. I have two of the items, but the other one is not locally grown.
Exactly. She probably makes this herself, so she knows where and how to get it.
Okay, sure. All right, heading to the druid.
Okay. So you make your way down. Ixius, you're aware of a various amount of things here. For this one, I'm going to say roll an intelligence check to see if you remember, because this is a very obscure kind of place. It might be a place you've seen maybe once or twice. Yeah, you're just like this. You're like, you walk outside, you look around, you're just like, Blue Bear's house. I have no idea where this thing is. You can ask for directions if you'd like. If you want to just try and look around, you can roll an investigation check. But if you want to ask around, you just add a persuasion check, essentially.
Not much better.
I'll do a persuasion check
Okay.
and ask her.
Yeah, I just can't figure it out.
Wow.
A 13 was what you needed to find it.
Okay,
So
awesome.
you ask around, and one guy just is just like this lumberjack-looking dude, this big old muscles with a thick handlebar mustache. Is like, yes, you are looking for Emily's. Points down the road. Keep going down until you get to the edge of the city. If you see a couple of big bears, don't worry, they're here for Emily. She feeds the local nuisances, but what can we do? She is good at what she does.
I'm sorry, you said big lumberjack, and already I'm staring.
Of course, he's a big, thick muscled, handlebar mustache, hair tied in the back, just big dude.
Does he have a wedding ring?
You would presume he might, but he is also working construction. He would not wear a ring while working construction.
Can I minor illusion one on him?
You can roll roll sleight of hand.
For a spell?
You're trying to cast a minor illusion without her noticing. Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, does he have a wedding ring? You look down and you're just like, damn it, he has a wedding ring.
Can I fucking try Arcana to see if that is him? Presuming if that is Ixius.
Would be an investigation to find the minor illusion?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah.
Right now, I was basing that off your passive perception. No, you're like, yeah, he's wearing a wedding ring. Man, this guy's dedicated to his loving spouse. Man. Yeah, he points down. Zadim, yeah, you're perking. You're like, bears? And I would presume you're just like, yeah, I want to see these bears. So you guys head towards the edge of the city, and as soon as you see the place, you're just kind of like, yeah, Ixius kind of like palm your face, just like, oh, right.
Oh, yeah, this place.
Yeah, it is the only place that has been painted a bright baby blue. Everything else is kind of that brownish, whitish tint to it. This is, again, a bright baby blue colored. Clearly someone took the time to paint the entirety of the place. And it is covered with various plant life, and sorry, I was reading something at the same time. Like, oh, I need to lower it.
I sent him something.
Yep. Maybe I put it back to where it was lower.
I don't know if you saw it, but Zadim says on the chat.
Zidian perks up at the mission.
Is it still quiet?
No, you're good.
No, for the stream.
Well, no, someone was saying that they couldn't hear it because it was quiet, and she says she's going to try and rejoin. I'll tell you if it's
Yeah.
too quiet for still or not.
Yeah.
I'll unmute it.
Yeah, I turned it back up a little bit just to make sure that hopefully people can hear everything. I have it so that people can hear you guys, and I heard his voice on the stream before. So if it's something that's been going on, we might we need to check that. Yeah, it's hearing my knuckles
That's a
pop
problem.
quite loudly.
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah, I see it
It's
peak.
not
Not peaking. It might be good. Okay. Yeah, if you guys can't hear anything or you need to, say something, you're in the chat, you can type in the chat. I will see what you're. Hold on, I want to. I love you guys for viewing it. You're all being goofs at the moment. I'm giving you guys heart hands. You guys just can't see it.
Send a picture there in the chat of your heart hand.
I don't know if I can do it in the chat, but maybe if I can find a way to do it, I would. So, Baby Blue House. Plant life is kind of overgrowing it in a way, but it's kind of artistic in a way.
Is there like ivy growing on the walls?
Kind of. Some of it looks like there's a like metal fencing that's literally made for it to do it. There's actually some various vegetables and such that are going on it too. There's actually a hanging tomato plant off of one of the little outsets of the house roof. That's just they're very clearly in spring season. They're not nearly anywhere near ripeness or even growing in fully, but they're little buds that are starting to grow in.
I do like the motion, like after you to Navarra.
She looks almost enamored with the outside of this house. So it seems might have to shove her a little bit to get her to snap out of it.
Okay. So with a little shove, you walk in and you move to like grab at a door because you're so enamored by it. Your hand just kind of goes through and you kind of look at it like, oh, there's just kind of no door here. Oh, okay. Uh, Inside, there's a variety of different plants and different things. It almost looks like it's a mess, but as you move through, you kind of get a sense that there's some organized chaos to it. And at the front desk, which it looks like it's kind of like almost elevated slightly, like platformed on the back, you do see that at the desk there, just sitting very patiently, with a little bow tie on, is this tiny little squirrel.
Squirrel! 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 I'm sorry. That's not. No, that is out of character.
I was about to say.
In character, she's going to try and approach the squirrel and like hold up her staff to see if it'll go onto the stick.
Gives a little like squirrel hand wave.
Waves.
Kind of.
Okay, this is not a normal squirrel.
It turns around and boing, boom, oof. From behind the place, you hear her jump on someone and like, oh, you hear, and you see this very very small, small small human woman getting up. It looks like she's wearing very heavy clothing. It's like a long dress with three blankets just kind of draped one on top of the other. Her hair is incredibly messy. It's essentially bedhead on steroids. Her the sides of it are side cuts, shaved off with just like the center part of it, almost kind of mohawk style, but way too much of it to actually be a mohawk.
Oh my gosh, is this the druid version of Sombra?
Somewhat, it's just very fluffy, curly hair that just kind of covers her right eye as she kind of like. Oh, people! She like just slams against the wall. Just, oh, hi. Oh, I wasn't. Maple kind of picks up the squirrel. Why didn't you tell me there? Let's just start chittering to it really quick.
Hi.
Hup, hi, hello. Sits the squirrel Maple down. Excuse me. Welcome to the Blue Bear's house. How can I be of assistance?
Okay. This is going to sound weird, but
Balm, BALM?
No,
Yes.
What?
no.
Confused noises looking between you two.
Wait, I'm not misunderstood when you said bomb.
B BALM, a healing balm.
Yes.
You don't know how to spell bomb? Oh no, you must be from very far away.
I'm just
Actually,
face bombing.
Hmm.
out of character, Don, I thought you meant literal healing bomb, not BALM, but BOMB.
BALM.
That's why I said, oh, I'm gonna be like Anna in the first session. Oh, I'm disappointed now. Okay. Damn! I was hoping to throw one at someone.
I mean, you could do that later, but this is to create a healing balm starting out. This is one that you would, rub on wounds and such. I happen to know if I could sell some creature parts. Creature part. Not no 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 not here no you might scare away my friends. Kind of like hugs Maple and Maple's just like look at you all just like sup.
But do you know where we could?
Um uh, if you oh dear. uh I know there's a hunters guild, but that's not in the city. There's one in the capital. That's in Sayas Key. But there's a few other places closer by. But one of them is through the Giants Pass. They essentially hunt creatures that try and fly down and attack the colossi that travel through the area. But I don't know exactly where they are. I don't like hunters. They tried to shoot me once.
Well, that's rude.
I was a bear at the time.
Oh!
What? I mean, when I first came to the place, I was just a big bear covered in honey and just having a good time. I kind of forgot I was a bear. But it was okay. No one shot me when I came in.
When you were covered in honey.
It was delicious.
um, I'm going to set the leaves in this room down on her.
Oh, that kind of yeah. Hold on.
Is it a table or a desk, or is it?
There's a little like desk in front of her that she kind of you can set it down and on. She's like, oh, okay. Hold on. Drops down. Whoop. Just you hear rummaging about like clink, 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 clink. Where is? Oh, ow, my head. Okay, no, wait, I got it. I got it. She pulls out no,
Do you want help?
no, maybe. Give me a moment.
I'll send Mr. Noodles to help her.
Mr. Noodles flies over like, oh my goodness, hello there. Gives a little boop on the snoot and just like, yay. So with it, she kind of pulls back like, don't worry, I got it. And she pulls out this very scraggly, dried out vine-looking thing that she pulls out, sets it down. Like, I knew I had a few left. These are bomb vines. You have to squeeze all the juice out of them, otherwise, well, they go bad. But you have to grind it up with the shrooms, which it gives it that soft texture, and the leaves to make sure that it has the healing in it. And she takes it and she's gonna roll a herbology. Oh yeah, she did really good on that. She just quickly takes it. She like crushes them up, just slides them together. Takes a tiny little drops of water, stirs it up, puts together, and in a couple of moments she has a little bomb in a little jar that she kind of holds up to you like, ta-da!
Oh, how much do I owe you?
What? Oh, right, I get paid for this. Uh, um,
I'm starting to remember why I forget this place. Because she's a pain.
Oh, that's mean.
for the cost of the, I have to get that, plus, math is hard. Oh yeah, the 3 gold.
I expected much less. Or much less. I expected much more. Alright.
Much less. I mean, yeah, we have to get. I mean, plus shipping and handling. Yeah, 3 gold.
More, not less. I mean, I expected it to cost more.
Oh, I mean, originally I was thinking 5 gold, but you've been so nice and you came and you said hello and you didn't make fun of me for being a bear. I mean, 5 gold's not that much.
We'll go for 5 gold.
Yay! She kind of takes like, Ralda's gonna be so proud of me. Yes. Yee. Has a little blush on her face, like, yes, good. She takes him, she puts it into this tiny little bag that looks very empty. That she's just like, one, two, three, four. Yay!
I'm gonna put the jar down with the seed in it in front of her.
She looks at it like, ooh! Kind of slowly drags it in front of her. What's this?
It's the sunflower.
Oh, the sundrop.
Yeah, the sundrop flower.
Oh, I've seen a few of these before. They're mostly in like kind of moist, damp areas where they can kind of grow a little bit out of the sunlight, at least at first. You, this is a seed. Were you wanting to grow some?
I'm hoping to grow more closer to the town.
Oh, I can probably start up a few of them back here. They usually take about a year or so to grow. I mean, if I can grow one or two of them here, I can probably start making a few more around here. They wouldn't do well outside. They're kind of adverse to too much sunlight. It's kind of funny. They're called gold drop flowers, and they don't like the sun. But they're good. I can work with this.
Yeah, I'll let my father know you're working on them. You'll be in touch.
Sure. Who's your father?
I actually forgot that.
You you would say that you can say that the aide of the Duke, not the Duke, the Count. I don't know why I said Duke. Count is. We'll check in on it.
Duke is like the go-to title for like.
I know, but he's the Count. He's not a Duke. He's the Count. It is the
Funny,
first
we
thing.
have
Yeah.
Count and we have someone that I nicknamed Vlad. Oh, how ironic.
Oh yeah, I remember now. My father's name, he's a Visor Tyrellian.
Terrellian. All right. Oh, Mr. Terrellian. I. Okay. If he's gonna check in, whatnot, I just tell him I'm. Kind of gives a thumbs up. I'm here. Uh, do you guys need a place to stay? I I I know a really good place. They're really open to travelers.
That would be very nice.
Okay. It's at the Penitent Soul. Have you heard of it?
I'm pretty sure I've heard of it.
Yeah, look, I'm like, if he hasn't, then we're fucked.
Yeah. The Penitent Soul is run by Vrald. You've seen it a few times. It's primarily where you want to go for like gossip of the outside world because it is a traveler's bar essentially, but it does have room and board as well. It's run by a hobgoblin named Vrald, and he's called Father Vrald because he runs a kind of obscure clergy, but the other members, the reverends as he calls them, are all goblins who are also the servers and people who help keep the establishment afloat. It is known to have a few of the kind of the seedy folk, the people who are not necessarily in good graces with the law, but he and the reverends keep a very tight grip on them to prevent them from running amok, as they're not fond of people thinking they can just steal from the penitent soul.
Would I know if I have like guest bedrooms where I live? So
You
I could essentially put them up for free.
you have a guest bedroom, they do not. So you would be able to have a room for yourself, but for them, they do not have this luxury.
All right, so they'll have to stay here.
If they wanted to pay for room and board and actually have a place to sleep, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would rather sleep inside than out. So yeah, I'll understand.
And she's like, "Yeah, it's almost gonna be closing time for me soon, and I don't have many working hours because not a lot of people come here. So I go to the Penitent Soul, and he kind of points travelers and stuff my way, and I can I
How
can get."
much longer will you be working?
Kind of looks at you all just like, I mean, I was taking a nap before, so I, no one came through today. I can close up right now. Kind of shrugs. She's like,
Would you like to accompany us and show us the way?
absolutely. Hold on. Takes it, drops this closed sign over the front, the door frame. It's this very open area. People could just walk in and out. But Maple kind of jumps on her shoulder, just kind of pats her cheeks, like, what? Oh, yeah, right. Hold on. She goes into the back. She pulls out a big jar of looks like some kind of brown buttery mix, and she just kind of sets it on the table, moves into the back, gets out another one, sets it down, goes back, gets out another one. Okay, good. They'll be. What time of year is it?
What is that?
Oh, it's something I got from the Capitol when I was going through. They said they made it from peanuts. They call it a peanut butter. I've never heard of it
Never.
before, but yeah, sure. She kind of
I'll
motions
take
it.
a spoonful and taste it.
You lick the whole thing off, and there's still some on the spoon, and your mouth is just like,
Boy, I'm gonna lick that spoon. Like, out of character, I
mhm.
love fucking peanut butter. I will eat it from the jar.
Yes, just take one from the other one so that the bears don't feel bad about someone taking from their peanut butter. Just get a spoonful. Yeah. Uh, so you take a spoonful and it sticks to your tongue to the roof of your mouth. It's very tasty. It's very good. It's a lot stickier than you were expecting. Like you're thinking butter like butter, but it's just like different taste. Hmm. Okay. She kind of laughs a bit.
You do the exact same thing with fucking peanut butter.
Both of you are just licking, just like making this smacking lips noise, just like looking at each other,
I
like
just look disgusted.
she was like, ugh, why would you do that?
Like, ugh. Mommy,
Ixie's just like, oh my gosh, why would you guys put that in your mouth?
savages.
Savages. But with you smacking your lips, kind of looking at each other, she kind of just like, is it good? I've had it a few times myself. I leave it out for the bears mostly. They're very good at watching this place when I'm gone. They should be in any time. Kind of pokes her head out, just like, huh, they're a little bit late. That's okay, they'll be in.
I figured you would feed them honey.
I mean, I do, but there's no honey right now. It's been winter. The bees need to make more honey.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that it's fucking early spring.
Yeah, it's yeah the kind of motions. The leaves are coming in, but yeah, there's not a whole lot of bees or such around. It's not yet coming to the time where uh, one would be able to just have honey on hand.
Zim, are you fucking flirting with her? I saw him
Oh,
say
thank
no
you.
when he first.
He also did the face sticking his tongue out.
What have you done?
And it's in parentheses, so he's not saying it. I know, I'm aware. She puts up the close sign. She motions, "Come on, guys! Father Brawl's gonna be yay!" There's this little hop, skip, and this kind of it's almost like a half jog, half run. And she's like, come on, he's this way."
Skipping.
Essentially, yes.
Are we? Wait, do we pass the construction worker? Effectively, what he is, the lumberjack.
He's more building things on the outskirt areas, so no.
Damn.
Yeah.
I have one way. No, I have one way to fucking fuck with Ait'seh's plan entirely.
I can just do it again. My religion's cantrip.
No, it would be a sentence, and if he responds the way I think he does, it would just ruin your entire plan.
Okay.
And since we're not passing, if I can just tell this, I was pretty much gonna say, "Tell your wife I said hello," and if you ain't got one,
Out of character. My husband would have said hello back.
wonderful. That's great.
I have my twists and turns. I said spouse. I never said wife.
You never said he had a spouse. Period.
No, I didn't. I said he had taken it off to make sure that it wasn't like crushed or something while he was working or lost.
He said he would have. He might have if he had it.
Hmm?
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
might.
He said
I did say might.
Yeah.
No, and I never said he did. But if if you had said tell your wife, he's like, I'll tell my husband you said hello.
to the inn, tavern, wherever the fuck.
Yep. So you head up, and the penitent soul is it's got the image of what appears to be a man covered in what looks like bark and vines across his torso as he holds out a hand to people who are like placing their like one hand on each finger. Anyone who wants to can roll a religion check to see if they can tell who this is an image of.
I'll
Ixius, you've seen this place. You're just like, eh. I never really
She,
cared.
she's the new Arag.
She's the new rock. It's low. I only have a 3 + 3 to it. I know what it is. Zadim got a 3 because he did not have advantage on that. So Zadim, you're like, I have no idea who. Meanwhile, Naivara, you're like, oh, this is that's an image of Dendreus. He's literally supposed to be born of the woods and stuff, so it makes sense that he's got bark skin and be portrayed with leaves and such all over him. Yeah, that's cool. Entering inside, the place is fairly loud. It's got quite a number of people, probably about a good, just over a dozen people, just kind of talking. Uh, you see two people who are playing a card game who are standing up. They're not sitting down, and it's quite clear that they're trying to shift cards around and cheat each other. But it's obvious that both of them are trying to do it, as the other two people are just hands over the face, just like, "Oh my God, will you guys just sit down?" At the head of the bar, you see this red-skinned hobgoblin, hair tied back, and he's, put it quite simply, he looks like a gentleman. He's got this black, kind of looks like leather from a distance. It's marked in such ways it's just like, okay, that looks like it's leather. He has, again, his hair is just kind of done up in such a way that he's able to look very presentable, very, very good looking, very respected guy. He's got these dark green sleeves, this orangish red, very light scarf around his neck, and one that's much thicker and heavier around his waist. As he looks up to you, kind of, he's not even cleaning his glass. He just has them all set to the side and just slides it to the back as the door behind him opens, and you see a green hand just reach out, yoink it into the back. Good day. How may I be of assistance?
We're looking for. Navara's gonna turn back to Zim. Do you want a separate room, or do you want to share a room? You sort of criminal die. Ah, Zadim!
Zadim just needs to type out his stuff. He is not on voice. He cannot respond.
I know, but I don't see him typing. We're just gonna get a single room.
There we go. He's typing.
Do you want a separate room for both of us, or do you want to just share a room? Alright, well then we'll just get a single room with two different beds.
Okay. Kind of looks between you two, kind of like his head kind of tilts slightly as he looks past you at Bright Eye the Griffin. It's just kind of like, we do accommodate such creatures. We are familiar with those who are part of the. He kind of like tilts, just like the Rangers guilds. I've never seen one for such a creature, but we can see what we can do to accommodate. You were looking for a room.
Yes.
The rooms, what were you looking for? Were you looking for something more simple, very, very small, or were you looking for something a little bit more comfortable?
I would prefer comfort, but it all depends on what the price is.
A comfortable room per night is only six. No, 1 silver. My apologies.
Well, I mean, Ixius is just going to up and leave us, so it would only be you and Ait'seh.
Yes, you can. He is a very he's essentially Ixius. You've seen this guy before. Like you've not remembered this place too much or the god he worships. This guy, he looks like you're a kind of passive clerical person. You've seen this guy manhandle someone who was being an asshole to one of the patrons and yeet him out of the place. Just he was just like, you have lost your patronage. You do not belong here, and just chuck him out of the place. So
Right.
you are aware that he's a strong, upstanding member of the city. He's a type of guy that you're like, yeah, I can sit with him. I can sit with a guy like this and share a drink.
Clerical yeetage.
By the power vested in me, you shall be gone. Yeet. Such,
Oh,
such
vow of celibacy.
as you think of that to yourself, you actually see Emily just kind of bounce up and just immediately slide her hands over, just like, hi, kicking her legs, just like she's like 5'6", and the place is a little bit higher than her, so she has to like put her body like across the place. She's like kicking her legs, like, hey, and he kind of looks at her, just like pats her on the head.
Oh. Oh, how cute.
He's a hobgoblin.
Yep.
They're ugly as fuck.
According to her, not so much. In fact, actually, let me pull this up here because she has actually drawn an image of them,
Oh, yeah,
and
she
see.
showed it to me.
Yep, I will show it to the stream so that they can see, and then I will put it into the Discord chat so you guys can see as soon as it loads up. Because according to my thing, it's just like, no, I'll take forever to load. So 1 second here, while oh man, my everything is lagging. No, don't lag. Don't lag.
Trying to upload an image. That's what it is.
Just show them the goodest. There we go. Yep. So he's not a terribly unattractive person, and she looks like she's having a very, very happy smile to her face as she's just like, again, kicking her legs, tapping her hands together. She's like, yay! And he looks like he's just kind of smiling, just kind of nodding his head, just like, I have business to attend to. We'll discuss more of this later. I'll remove that now. But yeah, she looks very happy with that, just kind of wiggling, just like, yay.
Nice we kept it in a separate room.
For an extra, I mean, for pets, it's essentially just an extra silver for the room, just to cover some of the damages that might be incurred from them trying to dig into the ground. But you could keep him essentially at the foot of the bed.
Do you want to do that? Or do you want to keep her in a separate room?
You said that's fine. Okay, so he's like, for a single room of a comfortable nature, that'll be 3 silver. Let's see here.
I'm just going to give him a gold piece.
That's what I was looking at. Yes, for the gold. This kind of tosses it between his fingers and catches it.
I need change, boy. I don't have silver on me.
No worries, but I was about to ask if you were also wanting a meal.
Wanting what?
A meal, food. More than just.
Don?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. He kind of snaps fingers. Pay attention. Food.
Excuse you. Don't do that.
If you're not paying attention, you won't get a meal, and you still need to pay for that. Ah,
Oh,
no worries.
yes. I want food.
I'm just sitting there laughing because I know how he treats people.
Yeah, he's like, no, pay attention, or I'm gonna keep walking on by you. So for your type of meal, let me pull it up here for you real quick. All right, so you're paying for the. Actually, you said you wanted a comfortable room.
Please.
Of course, of course. For the comfortable room, did I put that down? I did. I'd put it up here. Comfortable room is 8 silver. So this would cover your room. And the meal is 5 silver. So I can give you back 2 silver, and then you can give me another gold, and I can break that for another 5 silver, and you get 7 silver back.
Okay. She's just gonna give him another gold. Honestly, I think she's just gonna pretty much be like, just keep the extra.
Gives a little nod. I'll make sure the reverends know that your patronage will not be unnoticed. Gives a little nod. Kind of like he puts the 2 gold into this little chute thing that go chicken chicken, and you just hear a woohoo from the back room.
Someone drunk in the back room and they just got more gold.
We got gold. We're made rich boys.
ostriches in the back room. That noise was more than enough.
I would presume, Zadim, that you're paying for yourself and for Bright Eyes as well, correct? Okay. For you, it would be, again, the 8 silver for you and for 1 gold for Bright Eye. For you, it would be 5 silver for the meal, and only 3 silver for the meat chunk that they could just kind of give out, so you wouldn't have to worry about wasting a ration on feeding your big bird girl. I can.
I'm sitting at the bar. I'm not going to be eating.
Yeah, I'll type that out. So 8 silver, 1 gold, 3 silver for the meal, or the meat chunk rather, and 5. So altogether, that comes to around 2 gold and 6 silver. If I'm doing my math correctly. Yes, I am. Yay. Fast math. So in change, you would get 4 silver. Okay, you pay 3 gold. You want change? Of course. He takes the 3 gold. Ching, ching, ching. There's a moment of silence, then, woohoo! 4 gold! As he motions for you guys to take a seat, relax. Yeah. You're wanting just an ale?
Yeah.
Okay. The ale has a price for that, of course. I presume you're getting just a standard ale.
Yeah. I'm going to be eating at home.
A mug of that's just 4 copper.
Alright, yeah, I'm just getting it to him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
I didn't even hear you.
She called you a bitch.
At least I have a place to live.
I
Good.
do actually have a place to live. Thank you very much.
And that's not a cave.
I never said it was a cave, did I?
You can
Anyway.
all have your dick measuring contest another time. I still have a business to run. He slides you the ale. He slides you the mug of ale.
He's really just like, just shut up.
That's what I just said. He's like, do you wish for a mug as well? Kind of stares at you.
Nah.
And you, sir?
What's about?
A wise choice. Some people here are still trying to be hooligans. Kind of glance over, and there's this one guy who's like, looks like he's about to do something. Kind of looks over, just like slides the card back into his sleeve, just like, I won't cheat. Yep. Yes. Standard policy: if you're going to be caught cheating, we ask that you at the very least stand on occasion, so that people are aware that you are playing fool with them. At the very least, if you get caught cheating, people are aware that you were trying in the first place. Most people here tend to be lackluster.
What the fuck?
They're not good enough to catch to beat my eyes. Kind of looks over at one guy, and another guy just like, kind of like holds up his cards and kind of stops, looks down, just like shuffles them for a moment, looks up, like sets it down. He gives a little short nod. He's like, whew.
I'll talk to Father. So, Father, are you in good standing with the temple clerics yet?
They do not like the way that I run my kind of motions to the tavern. Then again, Dendreus is not exactly one who is against utilizing the gold given by humble travelers to aid those who are in need of a roof over their heads, or to pay for the food that is brought in. That, and most people who wander are not always lost, and therefore have plenty of gold to pass by. If you're looking, excuse me, I had too much ale earlier. If you're looking for a place to get such golds, there are a few, I suppose you would call them incidences, that are going on in the roundabout areas. Places that make Cormundum less safe to traverse. If you want to sit down, have a drink, and listen to the tales, I'm sure you can pull something up.
I believe these two could listen to you. I have to get back to my father.
As you are.
And I'm just going to stand up after I drink it and then leave and go to
Okay.
my father.
Okay.
Navar's gonna sit with Zadim for a bit up until he goes to bed and then head out of the tavern.
Okay. Zadim, what do you want to do? You guys, do you guys want to listen to any of the rumors that are going around here, or you guys want to just drink and ignore everything?
I'll listen in the corner for a few.
Okay.
Not have a drink.
Yeah, you're not drinking. He's listening. Okay. So some of the rumors you hear, you're basically sitting in a corner where people aren't being, like hush hush whisper. They're like, "Oh man, did you hear about the grass that's apparently growing out of the ground? I heard it consumed a man whole. Nah, man, you're blowing it out your arse. I swear it's true. I did not see it with my own eyes, but my cousin's second sister heard of it. Uh huh. Yeah, and your second sister is someone who he makes a motion just like points towards the back, and the guy just like smacks me like, "Hey, that's my cousin's second sister." Yes, but it's not your second sister. Ah, you're right, man. Another one that you hear about is, have you heard about the statues that have been popping up? Dreadful things. I hear that they were once people. I'm not going to go check it out though. I've heard that there are basilisks roaming the mountain ranges these times of year. It's cold still. They still have that urge to eat stoned people. Now, are you talking about stoned like the... Look at that. No, no, no. Stone is the actual stone. Well, bother. I'd like myself to not be stoned like that. I prefer... And they're just like... You just see them just like enveloped in a cloud of weed. That they're just like, yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Yeah.
Navar's gonna move back a little bit more because I know what a contact tie is.
You're out of the way of it right now. But these two people, they look like they're getting high. They've either seen some shit or they're just having a really good day. Another guy is like kind of rubbing his hands, looking nervously as he's like, "It's not safe to go up north anymore. I heard that there's a new person running about, trying to find a way into the Harrowed Basin. They say that Halo is part of its kingdom is already beginning to overrun with what they're calling him a new king, but I don't believe the word of that. They'd have to find some way to overthrow the whole system, and no, but if they keep doing what they're doing."
This has got Navar's interest. She's going to walk up to this person.
Yeah, yes. Hello.
I heard you talking. Can you tell me a little bit more about this person who's claiming to be a new king?
I
I want to roll persuasion.
Yeah, go ahead. Might help ease his. Oh yeah, that you eat you're being very relaxed. Like, hey, I'm not trying to hurt you. He kind of like takes a deep breath, like, okay, yeah. Kind of taps the table next to him. Like, there's one or two other people who are just like rubbing their face. That when they see you walk up, they're like kind of peeking behind their hands, but like, Okay. Yeah, you're. We'll go with yours as soon as she finishes hers. So she sits down. He kind of leans over, just like,
Halo. You know where Halo is, right? It's to the north and west, right next to the Harrowed Basin. There's a man who's been walking around. They don't know when or where, but they say that he walks with the grace of a cat and the dangers of a sphinx. He just appears out of nowhere, and he leaves a new person that he calls as the new earl of the area, or the new count, or whatever that may be. But there are places, little kind of hole in the wall areas that have been just usurped, thrown out, and whether the king is paying attention to it at all, I don't know, but it gives me a great scare. Someone just trying to take over a country and just appointing new leaders without a care in the world. That is not a thing that I would keep my nose in. Had to get out before. He kind of rubs his arms, just like, ugh. And with the colossi moving north, I can only imagine the dangers that would bring if he somehow got on to the king's city.
Sounds like the actual king is being lazy if he hasn't dealt with this already.
Well, to be fair, Halo has been trying to deal with other matters. They've been noticing Cormundum's kind of leans back a little bit, looks around. Actions of late. You know of the war and of the land grab it made against the Gorleen. They were a much smaller place before this kingdom set upon it. They're trying to protect themselves. They've asked for several druids to try and create a wall of forest, with space for the colossi, of course. We can't really stop a force of nature. I can't stop a literal. Pulls on his collar, just like, I've seen that thing. Someone tried to build a city in its wake. Didn't even notice people firing at it. Just walked right through it. What was left of the town was nowhere near possible to rebuild. But yes, I apologize. You were asking about the cities. They're calling themselves the Evening Stars, earls who have been set up by a higher power than the king himself. They're dangerous folk. I heard one man try to oppose them and his throat was ripped from his skull. I don't even know how you can do that. It's not part of your skull, it's part of your neck. But that's what they say. Kind of scratches his neck just very, very nervously.
He's going to try and like rub his back to.
Thank you. I apologize. I might need it. I may need myself a third ale. Kind of like motions, and this little goblin just like slides through, just brings up the ale. He hands 4 coppers. Woohoo! Copper! Runs off into the back.
Is that the goblin? Is that what's in the back?
You were told that there are goblins who he has appointed as his reverends, so it is possible that there are more than one goblin in the back.
This would be wonderful.
Okay,
If that is all the information that he can give me, then I'm going to leave and throw my keys on the table and head out of the tavern.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'll be careful. Many adventurers are heading that way, but I don't know how many are coming out of there. Takes the silver, just kind of quickly pockets it, kind of rubs his hands together again, very like he's cold, but also like darting about anxiously, nervously. Zadim, you, as she walks out, you're still sitting next to these mountain folk, and they're just like, yeah. What's up? Welcome to our table. Do you buying yourself a drink? So you got one already.
Excuse me.
You're excused. When life makes you type the things out.
Was his mic not working?
He's got a lot of background noise with where he's currently at with his family right now, so he has to type. Otherwise, he'd have all that kind of chattering in the background. Okay. Oh, you're asking about the mountains. Well, what's your question?
What's your question? The mountains, bitch.
Well, he just said, I want to ask about the mountains. What about them?
God damn it.
Roll history. You may have heard stuff about similar to this, but roll history, see if you've heard anything about this or similar to this. 13's not bad. With the 13, you're aware that there are some areas that when winter comes, there are fewer travelers, but it's time when certain creatures tend to actually start coming out of hibernation. They don't enjoy the heat of the summer as much. You heard them state the word basilisk before. It's not exactly the kindest of creatures, especially since they're part of a game that a lot of people are aware of called Look Away. The game is essentially to run around a person who is the basilisk, kind of running around, and if you make eye contact with it, you need a cleric to come over and restore you, otherwise you will be petrified, and then the basilisk tries to bump you, knock you over, at which point you are considered eaten.
because they will petrify you and then eat you.
Great.
The only reason why I gave you so much for a 13 is because you live in the mountains. You've heard of these things.
Just imagine him sitting in his tree with Damascus and me like, boy.
Boy.
Boy. Why did you just Kratos in my ears?
I am God of Boy.
No, get it right. It's Dad of Boy.
You're right. I apologize. I am Dad of Boy.
Dad of War.
Dad of War.
The Dad of the War edition. Who needs to be the Dad of the Year when you're Dad of the War?
He just has a higher dad shirt.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the basilisks and whatnot are a thing around these parts.
One of the other guy kind of jabs him in the side. Like,
What? Not that mountain range. I'm talking about the other mountain range. Which mountain? You're being so vague. Which mountain range are you fucking talking about? I'm talking about the other mountain range. I don't get it.
Guy kind of rolls his eyes, just like, "Oh my God, you're so high."
Look, listen. There's more than one mountain range, alright? Yeah? I'm talking about the Thunder Pass Mountains. Yeah, there are basilisks up there. No, they're not. But something's making statues up that way. Not basilisks, though. Those are more the... Which fucking direction is it? South? I thought it was east. No, it's south. Are you sure? Maybe it is east. Yes, it's not that mountain range.
Why did you pick the stoners?
Because they're hilarious.
But the misdirection is so bad.
To be fair, this is accurate.
I mean, yes, it is, but still.
I've never been around a stoner for too long, but I've hopefully got enough of a gist of it to be able to pass this off correctly. They're not trying to misdirect you so much as they're just shrugging in the distance a little bit. They're just like, "Yeah, we got this." Do we? I don't know. Do we? What do we got? I don't know. So essentially what you're getting from that is that there's a creature in the Thunder Pass Mountains who is causing people to be turned to stone, but it's not a basilisk because basilisks are not usually in the Thunder Pass Mountains. They're chill people. They're very calm people. But they're just kind of just like we have no idea the direction of where the other basilisks are. But no, man, yeah. Would I know what it could be doing it? If it's not basilisks, I'd say roll. I'd say would this be a nature or arcana check?
I would say nature. Well, I mean, if you were trying to figure out what a basilisk is, it would be nature because it might be an animal.
Yeah, I just need to verify one thing about the state of this particular creature, just to see if it would be a nature check. So give me 2 seconds here.
Okay.
If it's what I think it is, I ain't fighting.
You don't know what it is.
If it's what I think it is, I ain't going.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
What do you think I'm thinking?
Gorgon of some sort?
No.
Okay. The fuck are you thinking?
No, yeah, nature check. It would be a nature check.
Okay.
I was worried that it fell under something else.
Oh dear, that's right.
That's what I was thinking.
I forgot Caucus tries to do that. I don't know why I did.
Okay, 13 nature. It's
The demon, these 13.
He's rolled fairly consistent on his 13s. The Thunderpass Mountains is a very loud area. The Storm Ranger is said to cross them quite often, or at the very least send one of the horsemen that he has who follow him through the skies through that area. Uh, for smaller creatures, most smaller creatures tend to not enjoy it. But whatever this is, might be a medium-sized creature like a basilisk. Might have been one that migrated to there, or it might be something else. You're not sure what exactly it could be. You are aware, though, that most small creatures tend to try and avoid the area. Too loud. Too much thunderbolt and lightning. It's very, very frightening them.
Stop it.
Please stop.
Galileo.
That's what two people were just immediately like, no, stop.
Desist.
Cease and desist.
You guys would be able to fight cockatrice. You'd be fine.
Shut the fuck up.
You've never fought one before. You shut the fuck up.
I don't care. I have more than enough experience from other games to be afraid of this fucker.
Yep. So you're not sure exactly what it is, but you know that it's at the very least something medium, large, probably not huge. Otherwise, they would have found it by now. It's certainly some kind of thing that's petrifying stuff. Yes, 13, the unlucky number. They may be cursed, but they may not be cursed. We don't know yet. Because technically speaking, he's rolling a 10 and then adding his modifier.
Wondering if he's gonna get any more information out of these guys.
Okay. You take your leave. While you're taking your leave, roll me a Constitution save
Contact high.
for the contact high. Yeah. You're like sitting literally right next to them as they're breathing out, going, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You have a good. You're pretty good. You feel a little bit off kilter, just a little bit, but you're like kind of power your way through it. Just like give them a little nudge, like thanks, gotta go. As you step away from them, they're just like,
We're not the 13.
I know. Nah, his soul is too refined for this. Before we head over to Ait'seh, if you guys would like, we can take a quick 5-minute break. Everyone who needs to use the restroom can grab drinks, water, and such.
Okay.
Now we're standing.
Yep, let you guys, again, we'll reconvene in 5 minutes to give you guys a chance to again get some water, get something. If you need to do anything, do it. We'll be back again, hopefully in 5 minutes. So one second here. Fret not, people of the chat. My needs were simple. Just need to get me some extra water and such.
I got a soda.
Excellent. I have Sierra Mist.
I
Not
got Coca-Cola,
not sponsored by Sierra Mist.
but is sponsored by not Coca-Cola.
Yes. Sponsor me, Sierra Mist. I will sell your Sierra Mist during their downtime. Just, by the way, while we're getting done, buy this thing, buy this product. Yes, good. I also love this little just jazzy little music in the background.
Oh, there's background music?
Yeah,
I've not heard it.
it's more for the audience at the moment because it's one of those like background jaunty tavern stuff. I don't know if because you turn off the background noise that it's not in there. It's from the jukebox. Yeah. Hearing the background noise, won't hurt for you to hear it, but if it's playing through your mic, that would be bad.
No, I got a headset.
Oh, you have a headset? Yeah, yeah, that would be fine then.
I don't hear it at all.
At all? I don't know. Do other people hear it? Yes, slurp the drink. I see you in the chat there.
Yeah, I got the volume maxed out. I can't hear it.
Can people in the stream hear it?
I have not been listening to the stream.
Yes, I don't know. Let's see, where would...
No, I don't hear it on the stream.
Really? You don't? Oh no.
No.
I've just been listening to this by myself then. I feel very sorry. I'm just like hearing this city tavern music. Yay! How about now?
Oh, you gotta give it 30 seconds.
Whoa, that's much louder than I needed it to be.
I hear it in game.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it this, background noise, not this, loud, bombastic thing. So I was like trying to put up. So you're hearing it in the game, but you can hear it now though.
Yeah, I just heard it in the stream, but then you turned it down.
Yeah, I turned it down a lot. I don't want it to, overpower us. Because obviously, we're the entertainment. This is just supposed to be ambiance.
Yeah, it's not. We don't hear it anymore in the stream. But I heard the quick burst of it.
Yeah, do you hear it now?
Let me turn it back up. In game, no. On stream, no.
Thick. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. So I turned it up a little bit more. So now it can actually be heard. I've been playing this for the tavern the whole time. I'm just like, yes, this is a tavern music from someone who's just in the background doing this. Well. Welcome back. I'm actually turning that off. I need to check a sound real quick. Yes, this is good. That's exactly the noise I want for this. Good, good, good. Yep. Don't do that to me, computer. When I'm like trying to move it down and it's like, no, I want to go back here.
I like how when we started this game, she thought I was going to throw her to the wolves.
Throw her to the wolves. Oh no.
Oh yes, don't worry, I'm just an old man. Don't worry, I'm completely harmless. Insight check.
Stop time.
Oh my god.
You think that you have power? You've not lived till you read a book.
Yes, right now it is cold dead silence right now. It is meant to be cold dead silence at the moment. To the old man that you just saw. Yes, it is.
Does he know time stop?
You don't know. You've never seen him cast a single spell before.
Hey, you cast Mage Hand. I saw him do that.
That's a cantrip. That's not a That's not a slotted spell.
It's still a spell.
It is a spell. You didn't you didn't even see him cast it. You just saw the mage hand. That's what you saw. Just jamming out to some sweet, sweet tunes. I'll play this to have in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. That this would be nice for Ixius going to speak with his father.
I'm pretty sure he's still sick.
He's still sick. That's why I thought that this would be nice. Very nice, solemn, kind of nice music to play for it. Which we're just waiting on Zadim to come back so he doesn't miss anything.
Mommy, get away from me.
1 second.
Meanwhile, in the chat, Emmy's just, "Get away from me, old man. You can't do anything." And the old man's just like,
I don't care. I'm just doing my own thing.
Oh my god.
dances into the distance.
No, mommy. No, mommy. No, Bobby. No, I have fucking part of a sub, and she's staring at me, trying to eat it.
She's just hungry.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Is our good friend Zadim back yet? We still waiting? Probably.
We're still waiting.
Up there he is.
Up there. No, you're not
You never left,
I never left.
boy. Dad of boy. Yes, as the DM, I am dad of boys and girl because I do not discriminate for who I dad.
I should not discriminate for that.
So, you guys ready to hop back in? Alright, so while you two were kind of scoping out stuff that's going on in the area, you both found something that kind of piqued your interest. Your companion, Ixius, went back towards the Earl's Keep. Went back inside. No one accosted him. He made his way in. Where would you like to go, Ixius?
I was just gonna go to sleep.
Okay. Let's you go back to.
I won't let them do like their medicine thing, and if he's better tomorrow, I'll speak with him.
Okay. So you go to sleep, and everyone else said that they were going. Well, Zadim said he was going to sleep. You said you were going outside. Where were you wanting to go? Hmm?
Well, considering what level I am, I would go to the outskirts of town.
Did you buy the materials needed for it?
Do I need to? I didn't know there were mats.
Yes, there are materials needed for this.
Ah, damn it. Gotta see if I can find the town to buy the mats. Or the town, the building.
You're looking for a place to find the incense?
Yeah.
Roll me a intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence, just to see if you remember something. You do recall that back at the Blue Bear's house, there were a few sticks of incense.
Can I go back into the bar and see if she would let me buy that incense?
You peek your head back in the bar. She's not there. Neither is Rald.
Oh, god damn it. Is there any other place?
With the time currently, you can roll an investigation to see if any place is still open. Okay. You kind of quickly run around just like looking for a place. You're just like, I forgot I need this thing. You do find a place. It's starting to close up shop, but as you kind of run over, they kind of pause and just like, come in before I close up. What is it you're looking for, madam?
Damn it, this incense is all done.
It's just incense. You have to just get a certain amount of it. You're looking for a fine incense that, as well as about 10 gold worth of charcoal and herbs.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm just gonna tell him everything that I need.
Okay.
Because that list, I don't know.
Okay. Kind of stares at you for a moment. Slowly opens the door. He's gonna roll something for you. You're one of them spellcaster with. Do they never remember? He also does notice the ring. That's what the roll was for. So he does notice the ring. He's like, spellcasters, pushes open. Come on, quickly. You can use my back room. I'm not using it right now. Just for the room, just for using it, I'd say add another
I'll say 3 gold. So just 13 gold. I'll give you the necessary items, and you can use it in the back room.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, so you pay him the 13 gold.
Yep.
Okay, you give him that. He moves over. He pulls up some charcoal, very thick, rugged pieces of it, puts them together, grabs some incense sticks as well as some herbs that he kind of weighs them in his hand for a moment, grabs another extra piece of charcoal, hands them to you.
In the back room, there's a brass brazier. You're not allowed to keep that. If I find that it is gone, I will call the dual dragons on you. Understand this, but you may use it for the purpose of the spell, whatever. I'm wanting to go to sleep, so use it, leave. Please don't burn down my place.
I promise I will not burn down your place of establishment.
Thank you.
He kind of brushes his cloak and he moves out. He basically leaves you alone in his shop, trusting that as you have the ring of the dual dragons, that you'll uphold the statutes that you signed to.
My voice is crap.
You're fine.
I'm automatically a liar.
All right, so you head to the back. There is, as stated, a brass brazier. There's a little, looks like a little hot coal that has a little brass thing on it to keep the heat inside of it, for you to pull it off, to light the incense with, and to begin the ritual.
Yay.
You're just kind of bubbly. You're like, okay, I remember how to do this. You set it down. You put each piece in. You light the incense, kind of set it down. You kind of rub your hands, kind of like, okay, do I remember? Okay, and you start to chant over it slowly, letting the smoke kind of swirl with hand movements as you kind of drag your fingers through it, pulling it, weaving it together until it starts to take a shape, form. Your kind of eyes kind of gloss over as you just hand over hand, one pull, two pull, left, right, and the form kind of slowly consolidates, kind of drifts downward, kind of like a faint light, just kind of drifting down, and the charcoal pieces just kind of jump a second. The herbs shift, they kind of slowly begin to kind of dance about like they're popping in the brazier, just pop, 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 until they're almost like this magically liquidated substance that begins curling and forming into this little ball that slowly crackles a little bit as it stretches, forming this tiny, about small cat sized, about maybe only about a foot long, dragonoid creature that stretches, gripping the side of it as the magic pop, 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 as the charcoal begins to fade out of blackness into this somewhat dull orange coloring. The wings, kind of like dragonfly wings almost, a little bit thicker, almost butterfly-esque, as they kind of curl and just kind of flitter for a moment, then open up with this loud as it forms into this little prism scale. This little prism scale dragon that stretches like a cat, just tilts his head from the side, just like knocking some charcoal out of his ears, just boom, 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 turns to the other side, boom, 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 shakes himself thoroughly, tilts his head at you, waves. It immediately jumps on, grabs a hold, like full on latches to your arms, like nuzzle up against your arm.
Okay, this is much more affectionate than I suspected.
It kind of kind of turns and very lively, just kind of just dances up, runs around your shoulders, kind of peeks from the other side of your head, just tilts the other side, and then it just kind of flops on your shoulders like hoof.
I will figure the name out for you later.
Wow.
Right now, you are going to stay with me. Obviously. Nero is going to stand up, clean everything out, because he's going to leave a mess for the guy to clean up,
Mhm.
and head out of the shop, leaving a little. Now, I just saw that name wrong. But she's going to leave
Roll a perception check.
Hmm?
Roll a perception check.
Huh?
Second here. Yep. You immediately see this thing go as it peeks over at the silver, and you see a magical hand picking it up
Well then. No.
and dragging it back over to you.
Oh. You're such.
Kind of looks at you very curious, like, why'd you do that?
It's. It's leaving a little tip to be nice. She's gonna set it back down on the counter. Leave it.
Kind of just flops against your shoulder.
Oh, come on. Let's head back to the inn.
Perks up, kind of moves to where it's like kind of gripping your head very, very gently for something that looks like its claws should be a lot sharper. Just like,
So I have this little dragon on my head. Yes.
this little tiny dragon on your head. Yep. Just very happily like looking at everything, just like.
It's like a child who hasn't seen the world for the first time.
Yep. And I presume you go back to sleep.
Yeah, heading back to the tavern.
Okay. So
I also will probably put it in a satchel so that no one just sees it and is like, what the fuck?
do you just walk in with it for right now?
No! I'm going to try and hide this whole thing.
It-
In a place full
Uh,
of drunkards, there's someone sober.
you do have the ability with Find Familiar to put it into a pocket dimension.
Oh, okay, awesome.
That's what Ixius did when he had Mr. Noodles pop out onto his shoulders. He had it in a pocket dimension and he snapped it out. And that's also what the wizard did when he made Boris disappear and then reappear.
Okay, she's going to put it away. I'm just going to use away as the term for the moment.
Always a good
She's
term.
gonna put it away up until she gets back into her room, and then she'll let it back out.
As you do that, it kind of looks at you as you're about to basically snap your fingers. It's like is like cut off halfway as it just pops away and just you're like that was simple. Okay, you go upstairs and you said you bring it back out when you get back up there.
Yeah.
When it pops back out, it's like staring, just like it's like a cat, just like ass in the air, just like looking around, just like slowly relaxing, just like.
If you're someone home, just don't leave this room without me.
It does like the little pawing at the ground, at the bed, just kind of runs around like very quickly, just in a circle, 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 and then just flops down, just like doof. Slowly curls itself up into this tiny little ball in the center of the bed.
She's gonna pick it up and set it on the pillow.
Nuzzles into it. It nuzzles into it, just like it's like, why would you move me? But it's content. And you.
I can't lay on you. She's gonna move its nose before she lays down.
Moof. It curls into the ball and it lays on the pillow just contently.
I have a dragon friend. I shouldn't be as happy as I am.
And the cool thing is, I could probably understand it.
I think we both can actually.
You speak Draconic?
No, but that's not the only language it speaks either.
So you go to sleep. We'll pop back over with Ixius because he has morning stuff to do. As you wake up, the aides are just kind of setting things in order, doing as they normally do. I'm not going to say you're good about waking up. That's completely up to you. If you're someone who's an early riser or not.
Yeah, I think I'm an early riser. I think I'm very prompt.
Okay. So yeah, as soon as the sun's coming up, you are up, looking through your spell book, making sure that you've got your spells memorized and ready to go for the day. As someone comes in, you snap the book closed, look up, and you're just like, they're like,
Excuse me, sir. Your father is looking to speak with you.
he's this very thin, gangly dude, but he looks like he's got a little bit of pep to him.
He's like, your father, please.
Very well. I'll stand up and follow him.
Yes, it's very good to see that he is recovering so well. We were worried that he would be falling further and further ill with all that has been going on. Mm,
Hopefully, I have a solution for that.
I should hope so.
If this disease continues.
Yes, a few others have thought to have caught it, but thankfully, with the gold drop flower you found, it's a start.
It opens the door and kind of motions.
Right this way, sir.
I'll just follow him.
Okay. Inside the room, your father is sitting up. It's the first time you've seen him sitting up in probably the past week. He is still kind of shaking a little bit as he takes a drink, but he kind of glances at you. Kind of has a very faint smile to his face. Shifts very stiffly as he turns towards you, kind of leans forward, breathing heavily, just kind of leans back, just like, son.
It's nice to see you up, Father.
You look well groomed. Would have thought you'd made more of a mess of yourself while I was down. Your mother would be proud. Sim, come, sit.
I'll sit.
I heard you left the city on on the Earl's command, but on your own for once.
I actually had two companions with me.
Ah, a wise choice.
They're not from the city.
No? Where are they from?
Yara hired them. I'm not quite sure. I know they're both from the wilderness, though.
I've heard reports of them. The ranger. What's his name? Adim.
Zadine.
Oh, Zadim. Northern. I should have known. From the Frost Pass. Or Frost Slopes, rather. Frost Pass is more to the north and west. Different area. You've studied a bit of topography, but you probably don't know too much of Tamdov. I actually spent some time there. Don't talk about it much. Did I ever tell you about when I used to go hunting to see if I could find every colossi?
You tell me about every month, Father.
Of course I do. It's where I met your mother. She was a simple village woman, too much smarts for a place like that, and she thought I was crazy, but she followed me. Kind of rubs his hands together slowly. It's a little shake to them, but he's stronger. A little more pep in his step, a little more roll back to his shoulders to give himself a more strengthened look to him, but he's still more willing to be open to you about that he's still recovering. Kind of looks at you slowly. What did you think of them? The Northlander and your other friend?
They're very capable.
Good. Perhaps you'll finally be willing to take up what I've told you and actually go out and see the world. Get a sense for more than just Cormundum.
I was actually considering it.
You were. Your mother's been trying to get you to do that for years, but we all know.
You getting sick.
Just took me getting sick, yes. Kind of leans back, and Mr. Noodles kind of leans over and asks for a little chin scratch. He just gets a little scratch under his chin as it leans and nuzzles into it. You actually gonna go out and see the world? See what lies beyond just this quaint little city?
I think I will. I think it's time.
Good. Where do you plan on heading?
I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking about traveling with the two that I came with, but if they would have me.
A wise choice. People who've known your capabilities, especially your capabilities, they should know what they're standing with. And you, well, they already have an idea. Kind of rubs his chin thoughtfully. Gorleen, I would recommend you avoid if you can, with too much spite from the wars still there in some areas, especially in northwest Cormundum. Halo's pretty close. If you're looking for a place that's a lot of greenery, a lot of snow, even when it's not winter, towards the further north places. And Corvin, oh, Corvin with its streets and its people, it's chaos. But it's nice. But if you're looking to follow my lead, follow the Colossi. Halo to the north. You should still be able to catch it.
I think I'm gonna pass on the clock side. I'll forge my own path.
Gives a little nod, just a respectful, just a father's just like, you do what you see must be done. Reaches out, kind of grips your shoulder. I know I say this perhaps too often to be said, but I'm proud of you.
Yeah, if only most of the wizards could see it.
They will. Give them time to get their heads right out of their ass. Gives you a little pat on the shoulder. It's very light, very weak still, but he's clearly still very much of your opinion on them.
Anyway, about this disease, I actually found a seed of the drunk sucker flower, and I gave it to the druid Emily.
Well, the Bluebear House.
Yes.
She's still kicking apparently. I don't know how she's able to. Oh, then again, she has bears. Have the bears come through recently?
She said they're around, but I didn't see them.
Yeah, it is just coming to the end of winter. They're probably coming out of hibernation and they're gonna start popping back into her place. She can't leave the place open in the winter due to the kind of motions, cold, wind, air, etc. But spring, summer, fall, those bears just pop in and they seem to ransack the place, but they are apparently just they're good to her and she's good to them. Shows you what a dollop of the right intentions can bring.
Would you feel the Jarl would oppose my absence?
No, not with me getting back on my feet. He will know that he has me to watch his back, and if he needs call of you, you'll be out, doing what you need to do. And he will respect that. He is not a fool. He understands that you can't simply see one piece of the world to understand it. See the world. All of it, if you can. Who knows? Maybe you'll find the true temptation for Ait'seh. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, shouldn't laugh too much. Still hurts.
I'll give him a glass of water. Probably.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm still too much of a joker.
Anyway, on this trip, I did learn something though.
Oh?
Does he have like a target of some kind, like a lamp or thingy thing?
Something easily broken.
Yeah.
There's a little vase.
That he won't be mad at if I destroy.
There's a little vase that he essentially keeps around as a keepsake from one of his rivals that he's always like he always uses it essentially as to throw it. It's a little bit chipped and cracked from where he's beaten it and had it mended back together.
I'm gonna look at it, point my finger at it, and cast Guiding Bolt.
You want to use just the roll you used earlier, or just cast a new one?
I'll use a roll I used earlier.
Okay, so you aim at it. It's not moving. It's not like it's gonna dodge. It should go
Yeah.
as it pops into dust, and he kind of jumps a little. He's like, the Theurgy would be impressed with that. You're actually coming along quite well in your strides, aren't you?
Indeed. Too bad the clerics are all fools.
They're set in their ways. They understand the gods, but they don't understand people. The disassociation between them is sad.
I also don't approve of their methods.
He kind of pauses at that, kind of nods slowly, just. I would more fear the paladins for those that perform that. Spits off to the side. Keep your wits about you.
Very well, Father.
Yeah.
I will probably be leaving soon.
If you can leave today, go for it. I should be back up by the Earl's side. Hopefully, hopefully soon. Kind of pats the side of the bed, tries to push himself up, kind of slowly lets himself back down. Like, not right now, though. Give it an hour. I'll be back on my feet.
I'll stand up and we'll bow and I'm gonna walk away.
Son, son. If you ever go back to High Watch to see your mother, remind her I love her.
I will, Father.
Gives a little nod with his glass and takes another shaky sip.
And I'll probably go try and meet them at the inn.
Okay. Morning has come for the both of you. Both of you have a very, very stretching, just happy to be awake creatures. Zadim, as you wake up, you hear this little, which for you, Naivara, you remember leaving him on the pillow. You
Oh God, where is he?
you both like hear this noise, kind of like wake up, like what? And you look down, and in between your beds, because you did get separate beds, you see Bright Eye with this tiny little orange dragon just kind of resting in its fur, just curled up and nuzzled into its leg.
Okay, that's both adorable and concerning because I would have suspected that she would eat him.
She was also asleep at the time, so she probably didn't realize it.
Oh, thank God. I'm going to get up and walk to the dragon. I thought I told you to stay in the bed.
As its voice kind of shifts into this almost sing-songy, like it's like it's singing this very like wispy, willowy song. It's just like, but I look so comfortable here.
Come on. Come on.
As
Shoulder.
it kind of grips, it kind of like intentionally kind of digs its claw slightly into the griffin as it kind of wakes up, like what the, and it jumps, flies up to your shoulder, just.
You have to dig your claws into her. You might have hurt her.
Yeah, looks down at the griffin, looks up at you, looks down at the griffin, looks up at you, just like, that's a. And in the sings, in this like, it's just like, it's a big ass bird.
And
You hear it say, sorry.
when he leaves the room so that Zadim and the little griffin can keep sleeping. I don't know if Zadim. Wait, is Zadim up?
He might be waking up. I don't. Again, I'm not going to say who is an early riser and who is not. Bright Eye is like waking up, just like kind of like a dog, just like laying on his side, just like waving a hand in the air, just like what's going on.
The griffin is confused. The griffin doesn't understand what the fuck just happened.
It's just like, oh, why is claws?
Navarro's already dressed, so she's going to head downstairs. Probably too tired to realize that she has a dragon on her shoulder.
Okay. You're just like yawning as you come downstairs. Behind the bar, you see Emily, just very, very, very pleased, sitting on the stool. She sees you walk in, just like very, hi. You sleep well?
Can I roll an insight?
You may.
There it is.
She.
Is she a hippie?
Insight doesn't show you hickeys.
Ah, damn it.
That's perception.
Yeah, that's perception.
Okay.
That's perception.
Okay,
But for
using perception and insight.
you've been doing that a lot.
I don't know why.
Insight though would tell you that she's enjoyed herself. She's quite either you wouldn't say that she's necessarily well rested, but she's certainly woken up on the right side of the bed. And you can roll perception too if you want, Zadim. So you come downstairs and you're rolling perception. Go right for it. I already rolled for her cover up and such. She looks like she got a good night's sleep. You don't see any hickeys at all, Naivara. You see at least 3 hickeys she missed. Zadim.
Zadim knows.
To be fair, Naivara, you're looking on the side of her face that doesn't have the hair covering it. Zadim's just kind of peeking through, just like, yep, 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 yep.
He knows.
Yep. And actually, as you come downstairs, you hear from behind you, Emily, did you already leave? Alright. Oh, nope, you're right there. As Vrald comes down the stairs, kind of wiping his hands slowly, just kind of looks at it like, looks at you both. And did you sleep well yourself?
I slept as well as I probably could.
So, kind of tosses down the cloth kind of on the table as he walks past. You hear the little basically like a doggy door area just kind of as it's taken off and taken its back.
What the? Wait. Did he just go back there and that's the noise that I heard? I'm slightly confused. I'm sorry.
No, he put a cloth down on the table, and from behind it you heard something open up, and then the cloth was just taken away.
Oh, okay. Oh, what the?
Yeah. Someone, one of the reverends took the cloth.
Okay.
As he sits down, he kind of looks between you both. So, any way else I can assist you? A meal before you leave?
Breakfast sounds nice. It really does.
We can accommodate.
How much would it be?
5 silver.
Oh, thank God.
And 3 silver for a chunk of meat for your bird. Griffin. Lion. It's a griffin, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great.
That thing. He got emotions with like, yes, that. I'm aware.
Lovey's just kind of like, whatever this fucking thing is.
I've adventured many places. I have not seen too many of them. I mostly went towards Denziel, more deserts and such like that. But that's myself.
Alright, no problem. So that's 8 silver in total if I just pay for the deep shit.
5 for each of you.
Okay, so.
So it'll be 1 gold and 3 silver.
Okay. I'll just pay for it.
Okay. You pay me. He's like, takes it, slides it through the slot. Woohoo! Gold!
I want to guess your little friends are really happy whenever they get a gold piece.
It shows that we are receiving patronage, and patronage means business is good. And when business is not good, we'll find ways to make it good. You're excused, no worries. Go, have a seat. You sit down, and the 2 little goblins just kind of slide out with some eggs, some bacon strips. Looks like some kind of curled pork, and give it to you guys. And one of them has just this chunk of meat. Kind of looks down, just like,
What am I supposed to... Oh, that's a... Right, you guys mentioned that last night. Holy, you did not tell me it was so big.
just kind of slides the meat chunk over.
I mean, it's a griffin. What were you expecting it to be?
Something smaller than that. I'm small guy.
He's like wearing like a white shirt with its sleeves rolled up, a little bow tie, his hair slicked back, missing a tooth on one side that's got a little gold tooth in its place.
He makes me think of like Danny DeVito.
A little bit. That's kind of what I was kind of going for.
He's like, listen, I'm just gonna back myself up. Don't eat me. Don't you do it.
Slides away slowly and then just grabs the door. Clunk. quickly closes it as he jumps back inside.
I don't think he wants to eat you.
He wasn't listening. He was just watching. He was just watching it, just like. All right, and as you guys are eating your food, Ixius, you would have probably arrived around this point.
I'll just join them.
Okay. You ask where they are, and he just quickly points, and you're just like, oh, "Thank you," and you head over, and so you now have Ixius at your table.
Da 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 da. You gotta do party member.
Da na na na! You have achieved a party member. You have get party member.
Ixius will remember this. So I was just like,
I mean, I can't complain. Is the dragon still on my shoulder?
Mhm.
Is it stealing piece of meat? There we go. Piece of meat.
Whenever you eat a piece, it goes ah, opening its mouth as you eat it. It's like ah. Pick up another one. Ah. Eat it. Ah.
I'm probably going to end up giving it half of everything.
You
well, you didn't have this before.
Gives a little wave.
You're right, I didn't.
Would I automatically assume it's fine familiar?
Based off of how it's just kind of sitting on her shoulder, you've heard of people who've had creatures like this before. It's very rare to actually see one who has it as a familiar. If you want, you can roll Arcana.
I need to be not in my notes.
Hey, notes are important. 13. You've heard of creatures like this before. You don't know super much about it. You've maybe read maybe 2 or 3 books in regards to it. They're referred to as prism wings. Some people will tack on the name dragon behind it. Some people prefer not to because of how small they are compared to actual dragons. They're just
Probably more related to kobolds, huh?
they're more related to pseudo dragons.
Ah,
They're kind of like this divergent from pseudo dragons, where they have a spectrum of different colors. Most common that people tend to see are the red ones, orange ones, which this one appears to be. Getting one as a familiar is incredibly rare. Although if someone has already made a bond with it when it was younger, they might be able to form this familiar bond with it later on in their lives, which is quite possible that's what happened with her.
I'll just let it be. It's not hurting anyone.
Kind of, it's like tail is just wagging back and forth, just like very happy, like cat or dog, just like very excited to see you. And Mr. Noodle kind of perks up, and they both kind of look at each other, like sliding their necks from side to side, just like having a staring contest.
I was looking at Mr. News like, go play.
It kind of, it goes, opens wings, just, and it opens its wings. They kind of just start darting between the table legs, just flying around, and no one else is really down here yet. There's maybe 1 or 2 people who they just kind of say, they're like, "Ah, damn wizards, give me another drink, bartender, or reverend, or what, whoever is getting me drinks, I need another. I'm not drunk enough for this.
Maybe if you say please, he'll get it faster.
I'm too drunk to ask." He kind of just drops his head onto the table, just,
I'm gonna minor illusion a beer in front of him.
ah, thank you, bartender. He grabs for it. Grabs for it again. Grabs for it again. Bartender, I think I'm drunk. I'm gonna roll to see if he notices what that is. With that he might. With that he won't. What's your save DC?
14.
Yep, he doesn't notice. He's just like, bartender, I think I'm drunk. I can't drink my drink. I can't do it. I just want my drink.
Can I roll to see if she knows what he just did to him?
He was. Were you trying to be subtle about it to her?
No.
Yeah, you saw him do that. So yeah, yeah,
It
you're.
requires verbal and material components. You probably see me pull out some fleece and say some shit.
Okay, Nivara is trying her best not to start cackling at this.
Yeah, the worst part is that as he's like, just all of a sudden the little little prison wing just kind of flies up to it, just like gets up, is like, he's like, oh yes, you can get it, but I cannot. It kind of looks at me, it's like, kind of glances over you. It's clearly like has its claws where the end of it is. It's an illusion, and it's basically playing along with the part. So it's just like you're like, don't drink that. It kind of looks at you like, ah, jumps down, and just flies back over to Mr. Noodle, who's looking over, just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I thought Mr. Noodles was a girl. I thought it was Miss Noodles.
Is Mr. Noodles.
It's Mr. Noodles, yeah. It's been Mr. Noodles the whole time.
I heard Miss Noodles our first session.
Mr. Noodles the whole time. Every time I said Mr. Noodles,
You said Mr. Noodles, but you also called Bright Eye a male as well. So
that was my mistake. It's Miss Bright Eye. But yeah, so they're flying around doing their thing. You guys can discuss your findings or such, or just determine where you guys want to go.
Yeah. Like, so did y'all figure out where y'all want to go next?
We'll tell Ait'seh about the rumors of some pseudo king who's taking over territories.
Would I know about this already?
Roll an intelligence check to see if you remember any rumors that you've heard beyond what she's heard.
You got 18.
18. Okay. With an 18, actually, my thing must be lagging. I'm not seeing the 18.
I just lost connection.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that'll do it. Yeah, it might just be processing. Okay, but it may just take some time for it to reconnect, so yeah, no worries.
But it wasn't 18. I'll take a screenshot.
No, I believe you. Oh, I lost connection.
Oh, same.
We will continue as though nothing happened. Oh no, everyone is losing connection. I
I think it's roll 20 because it's not loading back up into the game.
Okay, yeah, just let me know when you guys can roll back up to it. I heard it make the noise like something rolled, but nothing's rolling. I'm actually gonna, not this page. This page here. I'm gonna refresh it over on my other side. See if it'll pull back up. Oh, I see the 18 on the other side. That's interesting. Sure.
What, on stream?
No, I have a separate window for it that pulls it up as well.
I'm gonna close out Chrome.
Oh, I refreshed and it worked. That's
Yeah.
roll 20.
Roll 20 was it rolled a natural 1 on its contact high. I apologize, everyone. Yes, don't worry, Zadim. We see Zadim mentioned that he's going to bring up the mountain petrifications as well. With the 18 for the you've heard of this group. It's not a group that's unknown to you, but you haven't heard of them. Yeah, so hold on, just for everyone on stream, so you guys can see. He did roll an 18. He is being very 100% honest, and I trust him when he says he rolled an 18. But with that, you're aware of these people who call themselves the Shadow Stars. They've never been an aggressive group, from what you remember anyway. They've kind of had the feel of an occultish type group, kind of worshiping stuff that's kind of shady, but no one could actually, prove anything about it. Them starting to say that they were just setting up stuff, just out of the blue is a little bit out of character for them, but at the same time, it likely just means that you don't have all the information that they have at the time, or that the people who were sent to find the information didn't have enough to give you.
This might be the Shadow Cult. Yeah, I know. They're pretty shady, but we haven't been approving things. Wrongdoing with them.
I feel like taking land without any kind of, I don't know what to call it, permit is pretty wrongdoing, especially those people who live there.
Well, they haven't been doing it, so this is recent.
Yeah, we're saying.
Yeah.
Either way, I feel like it's something that needs investigating because this is the 100% way to tyrannical king and take over.
Okay. After you mention that, Zadim brings up the petrifications that have been going on in the mountains. Something else that has been causing some worry for the people as well. Uh, Technically, both of them are on their way up to. Let me pull up the name of it again. Halo. Just make sure I'm saying that right. Halo. Which I will spell out for you guys so you guys can have it in your notes. Heilo.
I literally put like an angel hello in my notes. You said it earlier.
I think.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yep. No, it's spelled Heilo.
Well, I want to make a trip up to Halo anyway, and both are on the way.
Yep. So you guys would be able to. The first one that you guys would be able to hit up would be the. I said Thunder Pass. I believe I said Thunder Pass Mountains. Just make sure. Should be the Thunder Pass Mountains. Yes, the Thunder Pass Mountains would be first. They're on their way up to Halo, off to the eastern side of the Colossi Path.
Okay, so would I have to roll to see if I know anything about Colossi?
Sure. Roll history.
Okay. Oh shit. Hold on, I gotta reopen my character sheet.
You're like, I refreshed everything. Wait, no, where did it go?
I forgot that it's still connected to Roll20 even if I open it up as a different window, so.
I was like, no, you are not allowed to roll this until you reconnect everything. You're from the east. Let me actually check here. The east. There is a Colossi path to the east, but that's more towards Seaski. And you were a little bit more towards the south. You probably actually passed through it on your way to the Silver Crossing, but in terms of knowing about actual Colossi and their lore, you were more interested in other lore facts and such. The Colossi weren't something that greatly interested you at the time that you were doing your research.
Let me just fucking bonk my past self in the face. Because that is absolutely some shit that I would want to know. There's a giant creature walking through the land, alright?
That moment you're like, you know, past me, you did diddly done the fucked up son.
Okay, well then I'm going to ask Ixius? I'm not gonna say your name right, ever, on the first try. Ixius! What the fuck a Colossi is?
Would I know that it's a giant like Earth Titan?
Roll a history check as well, or Arcana check.
Will this be with advantage because of my father?
I'll say yes. You kind of learned to kind of tune him out a little bit, so you didn't remember everything about it. Plus, as you had told him before, you want to make your own life, and you didn't retain as much as you thought you would have. But when you're asked about it, you do remember a few things, which include that they're not necessarily earth elemental-esque creatures. They are elemental colossi. Their name is indicative of what they are. They are gargantuan class titans, creatures older than most belief. Most people believe that they were created before the finalization of the world. If you want to, you can roll. Yours would be a stereo roll as well, Zadim. They do come in multiple different forms. The one that is closest to Silver Crossing, oh yeah, you know quite a few bits about this, Zadim. The one that's closest to the Colossi Path near Silver Crossing is supposedly in the form of a giant feline creature with plant life that grows along its back and such. Zadim with a 19, this is part of your culture. You actually, with the frost slopes, you're aware that there's actually a portion of that is part of one of the Colossi paths. They don't worship it so much as they do respect it. You are on the boulder between Hilo and Carmundum, so you have seen this particular creature come through a few times. It has a structure to it that no living feline would have. It's too heavy set in many ways, with almost stone, iron, some form of natural material to its body, trees across its back that are interspersed with little ledges that people have built into the side of it to create a almost literal organic moving city as it just follows the same path going northward and then southward, northward and then southward. Gives the demon a chance to respond to that.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Feet are itchy. And yes, that's completely random and out of nowhere, but fuck.
Okay, you as you both bring this up, Sadim brings up that he's actually seen it before, and he's seen the city on its back, and knows that it is coming to spring, and it tends to cross through the pass between Cormundum and Halo on its way north during the onset of spring, and will make its way down, pass through Corvin to the south in the fall. So essentially, we'll migrate to the north during spring to a colder area, and then move down to the south for the warmer area during fall.
Awesome. What the fuck do people do if they just happen to have it come near them?
It doesn't move very fast per day. It is a colossi. Most things tend to not bother it, and if it's just moving up northward, I mean, as long as you know where the path is, and it's not hard to miss where the path is. It's formed it over quite some time. Staying out of its way is fairly simple. If you're
So
in
it
its
just follows,
Hmm?
it just follows a set path every single time.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. I'm like, if this thing like behaves like an animal, there's no real set path. It can still walk on a village, but if it has like a straight line of where it walks, then never mind.
Nope, it has a set path that it follows.
Okay. Awesome. So why the fuck are we going near it again?
I mean, would I know if it's already like making past the area we're going to?
You don't have to go through the Colossi path to get where you're going. That's just one of the paths to there, which if you're like trying to hitch a ride, it takes longer to get there, but you're able to stick around on the back of the creature and enjoy some of the uh, commodities that people have built on it. It is, again, a colossi creature. It is essentially a very large city on its back, but if you're wanting to just head up north, not follow that path, you do not have to.
I'm actually kind of curious about the city on the Colossus. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, that's something I do want to see.
I'm down to take the longer route. Zadim, you up for it? Preoccupation. I just saw that.
I think that means no.
He's being quiet.
I'm scared.
He might just be typing. There he is. Do you want to go to the Colossi, or do you want to just head towards the Thunderslope Mountains? Mountains. Manhattans.
Mittens.
Alright. So you guys have your heading, and you guys are wanting to go up north towards Halo. And you guys wanted to kind of peek at the Colossi path to try and catch a sight of it. Heading to the Thunder Peak Mountains would be one of the faster ways to get to the Colossi path, as you're basically going straight north and more north and west, not east, north and west, and then you could move towards the Frostlow Mountains, where it likely would be probably in a couple weeks' time, and you'd be able to catch sight of it, or even get on it if you were daring enough to see this creature.
Can I roll to see if I know anything about Thunder Pass? Because that is a name that you said to me like months ago, and it sounds very familiar.
Sure. Roll a history check or an intelligence check actually to see what you remember. History if you're wanting to remember any stories, intelligence if you want to see if you remember anything specific. Okay.
I just see like Navarra pissing off the side.
Wait, what? No. No, that is actually nothing like her. She is absolutely the one to go near the edge and stare down despite expressly saying she's a fear of heights before getting on it.
I have a fear of heights. Peeks over the edge.
I actually do this shit, and something about how exhilarating it is to see how small shit is.
No worries, I understand. With a 10 intelligence, you are aware that this is called the Thunder Pass Mountains. It is a mountain range. It has a whole bunch of thunderclouds that are supposedly either perpetually around it or doing other stuff to it. Why it has those mountains, particularly, having storm clouds around it, probably has something to do with like some kind of something. You're not sure exactly what it is. You're like, it got a name from all the lightning. That's what you know.
Too bad this will actually give me an advantage.
1 second here.
I forgot what the fairy does.
It kind of leans over, whispers in your ear. In Sylvan, it whispers, "There's some magic in that area that keeps the thunderclouds around." And they just kind of like, and then it like looks at everyone just like, the Sylvan kind of sounds like the growling and popping, so it's just kind of like nibbles on your ears, like it's like, rah, rah, rah. It looks at you like, then it goes back, rah, rah, rah. Kind of, it's very gentle about it, but it's hiding that it's whispering in your ear. Mr. Noodle kind of gets on the table, looks at it, looking at it just like, what are you doing?
Is that one guy still messing with the fake beard?
He's currently inconsolably sobbing as the Reverend's patting his leg, just like, he's like, there, buddy, here, put your hand on this. I'm afraid my hand will go through it, I'm drunk. I can't touch things when I'm drunk. Here, no, here, come on, take it. Is this water? Sure. Oh, I don't know. He puts his hand on just like,
When he's looking at the illusion, I'm gonna let it disappear.
he like looks at it just like, and it's gone. I drank it all. And he's just like, yes, sir, you did. This is why we got you another one. Oh, thank you, Reverend. He just starts chugging it down. Like, I need to go to bed. Donk! Just crashes on the, just.
I'm just gonna lean close to Ixis and just like,
Wait, what'd you say?
I just said that I was just gonna lean close to Ixis and whisper, are we sure that he needs more beer?
Father Walt knows best.
Father Rawls looking at him just like, he pays well.
Alright. Far be from her to question these people.
I mean, as long as he doesn't try and steal anything, or if he, oh, I swear, Reverend, make sure he doesn't try and puke again. We need to make sure he doesn't, suffocate or anything like that. You got it, boss. Yeah, it's gross. We keep an eye on it, though. We got you. It's kind of like, come on, come. Yep. We're gonna need a full man on this, and just like three other goblins, just all of a sudden, hop, just push him over. And he's like, ugh, hop, as they carry him up the stairs.
Does he look like he needs to spare the dying?
He does not, thankfully.
But I'll turn to the others like, if y'all would have me, I would like to travel with you.
I mean, you've proven useful so far. Aside from that ringing in my ears. And yes, I know that was you.
I'm innocent of all crime.
Just like I'm innocent of summoning a familiar, right?
I mean, anyone can summon a familiar. They just need the talent for it.
He kind of perks up, just like, me? And Mr. Noodle kind of looks as well, just like, me? Both of them are just like wide-eyed, just like, us? Us?
Navarre's just gonna stroke down the little dragon's back. Funny cat.
Tail wagging happily.
No one ever told me these were so cute.
Do you have like a picture of it in Discord?
I will. Actually, I should have that here as well. I will post a picture in Discord, and then I will show a picture of it here as well. Give me 1 second here. Make sure that it's. Da, 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 da. 1 second, everyone. Load.
Load. Someone take him to bed.
Oh my god.
Take them to bed. They need more sleep. Then they know what to do with all the time that they've been drinking. Don't you know where you're going?
And
There
the
it
thing
is.
It's like early morning. He's already hammered.
Yeah. That's what it looks like, by the way. This is what the prism wing looks like.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's more of an orange color than the yellow, but it does have tiny flecks of little bits of yellow that's starting to come through. Looks like it's probably growing into it.
Cute little baby.
Alright, and as you guys gather up to start heading to the Thunder Pass Mountains, you guys have gotten the rest of your stuff together. That is where we will end our session tonight. Next time, we'll be traveling to the Thunder Pass Mountains, checking some stuff out, and seeing where we go from there.
All I could think was immediately like, what's the fight going to be? Am I going to die? Am I gonna have to like fucking bust through some shit James Bond style?
Da-na, da-na, da-na-na. Don't get me copyrighted.
That's alright, I got Guarding Bolt now.
Hey! I would much prefer not being hit. Thank you very much.
Guarding Bolt only helps us.
It means that anything that he hits with it, the next attack that is aimed at that creature is made with advantage.
Yeah, but how do I know he's not gonna try and shoot me?
Because you're on his team?
I've done nothing but help you today.
Yeah, today.
So why would you think otherwise?
She's a very, very shy being who has no idea what to do with. Paranoid, that's the word. I was trying to be, gentle about it, but
I'm a very paranoid person to new people, especially new people who fucked with me.
that was one time. He'll be fine, I'm sure.
Twice.
I fucked with another dude who was not you, so clearly it's a thing that goes on.
That'd make me trust you more just because I know you fuck with other people. Right, that makes me trust you less.
Yeah, but it's not a personal thing, is what it is.
I know it's not a personal thing. I don't care. Thieves have no personal vendetta against people they take from.
You're not a thief.
It's an example.
Yet.
Oh no, she's gonna steal something? Paris, why didn't you tell me?
I almost expect her to take stuff from that shop.
No.
I was expecting her to go into the Bluebear's house and get some of the stuff and then just pay it. Which, if she had, there would have been bears there that would have been like, "Rrr." I could make bear noises.
Wait, what do you mean and just pay it? Why wouldn't I pay
Like
it?
you
Because-
put the money on the counter or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was an area that did have the stuff that you would need for it, but you're like, no, I'm gonna go to this thing. Yeah, you missed the bears. They came in during the night. When Emily goes back, she's gonna be like, Mama bear, Papa bear, baby bear, and just give them all big hugs.
Okay, I didn't expect to go in there because Navarre is the one who's like, I go in here, no one's here, and it looks fucking suspicious.
I mean, to be fair, she also doesn't have a door.
Gee, for what?
She doesn't have a door.
Yeah, but there's nothing quite like someone dressed in dark clothes creeping into a shop at night.
I mean, only if you're creeping in. If you're like super sneaky, then it's a little bit creepy. I mean, most people just know the bears will take care of the people who are being super creepy about it. And when they're not going trying to get the peanut butter off their tongues on the top of their mouth, they're just like
There has to be a single instance in which a bear stuck his head in a mason jar and got stuck.
for her shop.
Yes.
That's baby. There is a 99.9% chance that Emily has come back and just heard and just seen this big mason jar as it's like pawing at it, just like can't get it off.
Emily did that to herself.
Baby did that to
No,
to no one.
That's the baby bear.
Baby is the bear.
No, I'm saying Emily did it to herself as well.
You're saying Emily's woken up with just a mason jar on her head, just like help.
Yep. Yep.
Leave her alone.
You're just like, it's just her wakes up, mason jar on head. There's just this moment of just, oh no.
Jesus Christ.
I would have rolled a 15 for about that check, petrifying theme, because if being a ranger would have got me anything more. What is your favorite enemy? Type that to me in DMs. Yes, the bears are absolute beans, little beanos. Although if out of character, she is a druid, and she was introduced to you as a druid. So it's like she wakes up with mason jar on her head. She was probably wild shaped into something to be in the mason jar in the first place, and just fell asleep and then woke up in her normal form. So she would just wild shape into that shape again, hop out, and just be like, "Okay, I'm good. Okay, time to sell some stuff."
No, she's
Well,
not as dense as I think she is.
oh no, she's smarter than she seems. Like she might seem airheaded and a little bit, wavy, giggly girl, but she is a smart bean.
Who likes goblins?
Hobgoblins, but he's got her types to him, and she's just like yes, rubs hands together slowly.
Father Volt is the main
I know
bad
he's
guy of the
cool.
campaign.
It turned out it was him all along. Mwahahaha. Unless it wasn't.
That also sounds like her type. Tell me I'm wrong, Tyler.
I never said that you were wrong, but then again, I can't say that you're wrong for her with that either, because that's her thing. But we'll see. You guys, as I said, you have a whole world ahead of you, a lot of potential. You guys have found 2 missions that are along the way.
Expect me to sing a whole new world, you were dead wrong.
That's okay, I'll do it for you. A whole new world, a place with dangerous things to fight, where we could get some stuff or nothing at all. We don't know what we'll get till we are there. Every turn's a surprise, with things chasing us into death, as we jump from these cliffs into running depths. All we know is there's new things to see. And that's where I'll end the recording, because that was too good. That's the perfect place to stop the recording. So I'm stopping it there.